Hey everyone, welcome back to Sgcarmart. So I am here now in Maranello, Italy at the home of Ferrari. And when you think of Ferrari, what immediately comes to mind? I'm guessing it's probably a low-slung, two-door supercar mid-engine, probably with a V8 engine. And while Ferrari has made some spectacular examples of those, it's perhaps not most representative of the brand's heritage. Now, it is in fact the naturally aspirated V12 that is perhaps the through line to the entire Ferrari history. And it can trace its roots back from the original car made in 1947 all the way to this. This is the brand new Ferrari 12Cilindri, that's Italian for 12 cylinders. So this is the new V12 model, and interestingly enough, Ferrari is actually launching not just one model but two. So this that you see here is the coupe, but it is also concurrently being launched with the Spider, which is the convertible. So the designers have been inspired by, spaceships, aeronautics. So you can see that the form is quite minimalistic in some ways, right? So you have much cleaner lines, and overall, they were going for modern yet elegant. And I think it's actually quite a soft design compared to the 812. And some elements to point out, we have these headlights with these protruding blade-like LEDs. That's quite nice. And if we move on over to the side, this car also rides on 21-inch rims, so that's one more than before. Now, one quite significant design element is this really bold and straight line that actually runs across the entire of the body all the way to the back. And it lends a car a quite nice unity of design. At the rear, you have a very obvious swooping roofline, and it's a nice, interesting looking design, but one particular thing I need to point out. So you can see that this rear sort of glass house is actually concaving in, and there's a very, very important reason for that, and that's this. So it might not look like anything, but actually these are active aero spoilers. So it's the first time it's available on a V12 Beretta. And basically what it does is it offers aero, right? So between 60 km per hour and 300 km per hour, it actually operates as a variable sort of ratio or degree, and it just helps with the car's overall aero efficiency, aero capabilities, and of course that adds downforce, and that means better handling. So this is a grand tour, so it's meant to be practical as well, right? Not just fast, but also practical, and that means that you have a decent sized boot, right? So this is front engine, and one of the main reasons is so that you have a rear boot. And this boot is actually 270 liters, so that's obviously not super huge, but it's going to be good enough. Inside the car, the cabin might look fairly similar to some of the newer Ferrari. So it's a dual cockpit setup, so it's pretty much symmetrical, right? So it may look quite familiar, steering wheel is more or less the same. However, one thing is quite different, and that's this. So you have now a third screen, right? So this is a 10.25-inch screen. You still have your 15.6-inch digital display, and on the passenger side, you have an 8.8-inch screen. Now, the rest of the cabin, I think, will be fairly familiar. So you have the sort of classic gear shifts, and this being a really high-end sports car, you're gonna have options like, carbon fiber seats, all kinds of good stuff all over the cabin. But perhaps the most important thing about this car is the V12 engine. So let's go look at it. Now, this car features a Cofango, so it's a front opening bonnet, and that opens up to perhaps the most important part of this car, the heart of this car, a 6.5-litre naturally aspirated V12 engine. So this car obviously uses, racing technology and lighter components such that it can produce now 819 brake horsepower, so that's 30 more than before, and 678 Newton meters of torque. And this engine now redlines at 9,500 RPM. So this car also uses an 8-speed DCT, so previously it was a 7-speed, now it's an 8-speed, and that means that this engine will send all that power to the rear wheels and do 0 to 100 in 2.9 seconds and have a top speed of more than 340 km per hour. Now, it's not all about numbers and top speed as well, right? This car also has to handle like a sports car that Ferrari wants it to be. So it has things like independent wheel steering, so all four wheels can sort of steer independently, and also features side slip control 8.0, so that's the latest in Ferrari electronics. So this car will be fun to drive as well. Ferrari has been steadfast about wanting to hold on to the V12 and has committed to making it for as long as regulations will allow, and this car actually will meet the upcoming EU6 standard, so this car will be around for a while. How long will this V12 persist? We can't really say for sure, but at least in 2024, it lives on in this, the 12Cilindri. Thanks for watching, and we hope you've enjoyed this video. Do remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel, and you can also hit the notification bell to be alerted of all our upcoming videos, and of course check us out on TikTok at Sgcarmart. So yes, I'm done here with my time in Italy. I'll see you back home. Bye! And go on to top speed more than I cannot remember that number, and I cannot remember that number. I will remember it after looking at my notes. And if my notebook does not get stuck under the seat, the 12Cilindri. Again. 12Cilindri.